Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It is another heat wave of a week here, which means that there's some issues going on. We have had a ban from going into the woods, from hiking, camping, fishing, going on ATVs, having campfires, because it has been dreadfully dry here. We haven't had rain in over a month, and we have currently 2 major forest fires that are burning out of control in the province. One just outside the city, Moncton, where I live, and another one north in Miramichi, between Miramichi and Bathurst. And there are other little fires that are elsewhere, and the firefighters are working tirelessly to get everything under control and back. So that's why there's a ban here in Nova Scotia, well, here in New Brunswick and in Nova Scotia, and I think in Newfoundland as well now. They're asking people to stay out of the woods and doing those activities, not because you can't go out there and they don't trust you. It's that we don't want to turn these things into a rescue mission. If you happen to be camping, it's all right to do it in a campground. If you're doing it in the backcountry of the woods, then you could be in danger because a forest fire could come in on where you're camping, or get started as a result of an errant spark from a fire pit or something that you have, or someone smoking or doing something like that. An ATV could ignite a spark on a rock with an axle as it drove by. You wouldn't even know that you've started it. So all those activities are curtailed for right now. So hopefully people are abiding by it. I know in Nova Scotia, if you get caught, it's a $25,000 fine. So hopefully people are helping out the firefighters and everybody else by just not doing those things for right now. I know I've got a fire pit in my backyard and I haven't been able to use it in over a month. I would love to, but it's also incredibly hot. I don't want to sit by a fire at 41 degrees outside temperature either, but I do have a lot of things out there I would like to burn and enjoy, but we'll do it when it's safe again to do so, and when the province allows us to do that. All right, that's what's going on here. I'm safe where I am right now. There is no forest fires by me, but I know that I have friends and things that are in areas that there are forest fires close by, so we hope that they are well, and we hope that the teams of firefighters that are fighting those fires are well protected, well rested, well fed, and get everything in control for us. And maybe it will rain again one day and help out. Mother Nature could come and help dampen the ground a little bit. But for now, it is about 41 degrees with the humidity today. It's going to be like that for several days. So what are we going to do? We're going to talk stamps. That's what we're going to do after you've heard my little spiel of what's going on here in my province. Last week, I was gifted with a few really incredible things that came in the mail that had to do with postage stamps. So rather than show you in the Friday video, I said I'd wait till this week. Well, today's that day where we're going to go through and show you. The first thing that I want to show you comes from Germany. So make sure you like, you subscribe, you leave positive comments, you share with other people, and you put the notification bell on. And that thing from Germany comes from a viewer named Barbara. And she was kind enough to watch the channel, first of all, and take in some of the hobbies that I have. She has similar hobbies, and then she went ahead and created a parcel that included many of those things, whether it be stickers or postcards for post crossing and the decorating things that I do, images like cars on the postcards, because I go to a lot of car shows and things, that's on there. But also she was listening and heard that my father's collection didn't have a lot of Liechtenstein stamps. Well, she has a connection to Liechtenstein, so she thought, I'm going to send him a few. So I want to show you the stamps that she sent, not just Liechtenstein, but a couple other countries as well, and some other philatelic material. So let's get started. Some really nice pieces that came in here, including what I would say is a maxi card or a first day issue postcard. There's a few of those for Liechtenstein as well. And then a series of stamps, which are definitely going to come in useful, as I don't have many stamps from Liechtenstein. Even a mailman there, like that. At first I was thinking, is that a Boy Scout? Nope, it's a mailman. There's the post box. Some Europa stamps too were in there. We've talked about Europa before. Stamp of the month. If you don't know what stamp of the month is, you go check it out. There's a giveaway every month. And this month we're talking about parks. A couple of stamps from Poland. And a few from the United States. There's a duplicate there. And this one here too, the Apollo 2. And then some stickers that look like stamps. So there's a whole packet of those. Would be great for decorating. A bunch of different themes on those stickers. Including some mushrooms there. Maybe those will head off to Stephen in Australia. And lots of people like birds on stickers and different animals and space themes. So a wonderful array of stuff. Thank you so much, Barbara. The next little surprise envelope that arrived came from Kristan in Australia. It came in this envelope, and there was a sheet of stamps in it that I want to show you. One of the things, unfortunately, with an envelope like this that didn't have any protection is that people bent it along the way, either to fit it into a mailbox or maybe went through a machine and got bent. I know in Barbara's envelope, she put a piece of cardboard in it, which stiffens it up, makes it less likely that it will bend. I try to do that with some of my Stamp of the Month giveaway things too, to try to make it a little bit more secure. So Kristan, I apologize if you see that there's been a bend in it. Somewhere along the way, the postal system failed us in our attempts to get this here uncreased. So this is what he sent. We've got some new stamps, and you can see that it comes included with the other parts of the sheet. If you were to buy a whole sheet of stamps. Keeling Islands. Very beautiful. Unfortunately, there's a crease going through there, but that will not affect it from going into my stamp collection. So thank you so much. Thank you, Kristan, for those stamps. The next thing that arrived came from Stephen in Montana, and it came in this envelope. And so I was quite surprised when not only did one envelope of this nature show up, but 3 showed up. So let me show you what's in the first one. He also has packed them very nicely, and he's included an envelope in, or a letter in there as well, stating all the different things that he collects. So hoping that maybe I have some things in my collection that I can trade in reciprocation for what he sent to me. So let me show you what he sent. Try to get the glare down a little bit, but here you can see, here comes a theme of boxing related stamps. I don't normally collect by theme, but I certainly do giveaways by theme, and I know part of why Stephen sends these is that they might be included in giveaway things as well as things that might be good for my collection. So he always says, do with them as you will. So thank you for that. And we also have some weightlifting themed stamps. So always looking for either ideas for things to talk about in my Stamp of the Month giveaways. This month we're talking about parks. So there is a giveaway for the month of August 2025. If you're interested in park-related themed stamps, you can go check that out. We have some stamps here from St. Lucia too. Mixture of items. And if you want to win the giveaway, you got to put the keyword in that video, my Stamp of the Month video, and that one alone, and you'll have a chance to win. Now, along with those stamps, he sent some ones too here from Bulgaria. And someone from Denmark. And a postcard. Now, this postcard is a vintage postcard. You can see it's already been used. And there's the old stamp that is on it too. So thank you, Stephen, for envelope number 1. These were the stamps if I didn't show them up close and personal on envelope number 1. And these are the stamps on envelope number 2 from Stephen. And inside envelope number 2 are more stamps. Here we have Coco Keeling Island stamps. And another nice Vario page. And you can see he's got this list here too. The Australian Territory and the Indian Ocean, issuing stamps since 1963. And then he also sent these ones here, which is a variety of countries, and all going to be very useful because there's a bunch here I know I don't have. And he sent it like this, but in a container like this. I took it out so you can see how it's got a hard backing to it too. He's got it in a protective sleeve and then inside of another protective sleeve. So they're definitely well protected for the mail. Wonderful themes in here, going to be very useful. So thank you for envelope number 2. Did I mention there were 3 envelopes? So here are the stamps on the next one here too. Great stamp. I really love how he's doing his envelopes full of stamps. I know it probably costs a little bit more to send it like that than had you put all the stamps into a single envelope and mailed it with just the regular letter rate like I normally do. But I do appreciate the extra effort. So let me show you what was in envelope number 3. How about Malta? Definitely, there's a couple duplicates in here, so they're definitely going to be able to be used for other things. But there's going to be a whole bunch of gaps that will be filled in by this. And this video page has 2 sides, so a lot more stamps still will be shown. Europa stamp in there too. That'll go well with all the Europa stamps we got from Liechtenstein, from Barbara. And then, oh yeah, this also. Quite a good variety of multi stamps here. A couple duplicates, but will be well used. And then another page. So all of this in envelope number 3, number 2, number 1. Getting mail from Barbara, Kristan, and Stephen from Montana. You would think, wow, you are lucky. And I do, I certainly do. But I wasn't done getting stuff last week. Last week I also got something from Steve in Australia. It's this envelope. And on Friday I showed you one of the things that was in that envelope. He sent me a letter of what was in this envelope. The first thing was Australian wildling stamps. So those wildling stamps have already been mailed off to the winner of last month's giveaway, month of July. I did a video about Dorothy Wilding, and all Wilding themed stamps were in the giveaway. So what he included from Australia has been mailed off to the winner. But he wasn't done. He also included a couple other things in here for me, which I appreciate. As you might know, Canada Post has been going through some struggles getting a new contract. It's been over a year and a half now without one. They've been dealing with it. We've had a strike. We've had back to work order. We've had a forced vote on the last offer that also was rejected. Now we are back hopefully at the bargaining table once again, trying to come up with a deal. And part of that is to try to figure out how do we make Canada Post profitable, even though it's not really a for-profit company. It's a company that's supposed to provide a service to every Canadian. But one of the models we're looking at, or have been looking at for some time, is what services Canada Post can offer up and above mail and parcel delivery. Now, in Australia, they have made some changes, and they have done some different things with their post office. And that's part of what Stephen sent me in this envelope. He sent me some brochures. I want to show you some of the brochures of different things that you can do. Complete your customs form online. This is something that Australia Post offers. You can do that. Save time and hassle with My Post Business. Of course, they are also for business, small businesses especially, like Canada is too. Making international sending easy for your business. Save money and time with My Post Business. Parcel sending to suit your business. You can see definitely a business need here too. International sending playbook, essential tips to help you bring your business to the world stage. All things that can be done. Dangerous goods, what can you send through the post in a parcel? What can't you? Information, it's good to have. Deposit withdrawal with bank post. That's one of the things I've been talking about with Canada Post, whether we can turn that into a banking services as well too. And look at all the services that a Australian Post bank offers. So let me just run through, here's a full list of participating banks and financial institutions. So credit unions as well is on that list that they are linked in with. Bank where you post, what we just finished talking about. My Post. account helps make your everyday tasks simpler and easier. Delivery choices, digital mailbox, concession benefits. Collect your parcels while you're out and about, so having lockers that are handy that you can pick up parcels from, not just a post office that might have certain hours that you have to get there by. Handy guide to selling and sending overseas, so all the different things you might need to know about sending money overseas from your local post office, so MoneyGrams. Applications to hold mail. You can also get your passports and things done at an Australian post office. Those are all services that Canada Post does not offer, or most of those services doesn't. Let me just slide this back in there just to make room. On top of that, he sent me another letter, which, if you've seen my Friday videos, he's good about sending me letters. And so this one is about how things are changing with rural post offices. So what do you say here? Community hub stamps. As mentioned a short time ago, I recently discovered that Australia Post had released a number of community hub stamps. I'll show you those in a minute. And I said that I would need to do a bit of research on them. Well, according to the information I copied and pasted from the web, it seems that Australia Post is planning to convert post offices, especially in the rural towns, into hubs providing more than just usual post office services. I'm sure when you read it, you will get a better idea of what kind of things will be available. Bear in mind that all post offices in Australia provide a large number of non-postal services, such as applying for passports, banking, for most of the other major banks, and primarily withdrawals, international money orders, bill paying, and most of them, if bill has a barcode. So I've already talked about that, showed you the literature. So let me show you, or read this to you too, before I show you the stamps that he sent. Australia Post has opened its first community hub at Post in Orange in New South Wales. The historic Orange Post Office has been transformed into a modern retail space offering a range of expanded product services while still retaining its historical charm. Australia Post Community Hub Post concept reimagines the traditional post office and brings together a range of new services and products in a central hub that is tailored to the local community. I want to show you some of the pictures he's got there. You kind of have an idea of what one of these orange post office community hubs look like. And it says, Community Hub Post has been developed by Australia Post over the past 18 months. The pilot site in Orange features districts, so I don't have the map of the districts that are there, but see, these are some of the services you can do in these new hub post offices. Digital queuing, where customers can scan a QR code, select their service, receive a text message when their turn, enabling customers to relax, browse in store. An on-site barista serving coffee, and all Australian music playing with the launch of Australian Post Radio in store. 3 change rooms for customers to try on their purchases. If required, arrange a return to while the spot they are still in post office. So you can buy clothing there, I guess, with the Australian Post stuff if you have change rooms. A dedicated zone for small businesses to sort, wrap, and send orders, including a large packing bench equipped with scales. That's quite handy to have, rather than people here going to the main counter, the postal clerk doing all the work for them, tying up the queue, where they could be on a side table doing all that with all the stuff needed available. A pop-up post, a physical presence for online retailers and small businesses to showcase and sell their products, with businesses to be rotated seasonally. So that's really cool. You can have local businesses come and put products in these hubs and make it more of a community feel. Maybe there would be a That Dad Guy site there. Who knows? The launch of an Australian Makers Collection, which includes a small product range from Australian creators and artists. So adding art to the post office, that's nice. In addition to the new features, Community Hub will continue to offer a full range of existing services for customers, including parcel lockers, out-of-hour deliveries, greater conveniences, banking services through bank post, and all parcels and letter mailing. And then it goes on to talk about, however, the way the Australians use their local post office is very different from today than it was 10 years ago. With Community Hub at Post, we are reinventing how the post office operates to support the changing needs of our customers and readying Australian Post for the future, he said. That's really cool. That is innovative. Canada Post, if you're watching, take note. The union with Canada Post, take note. These are some of the things maybe you could be lobbying for that might help keep us above water and going into the future for the long term. Now, he sent one of these. Nah, it wasn't empty when he sent it. There are some stamps. I'll show you what those stamps are. Here are the Community Hub stamps, the orange, if you will. They're all $1.20. Each one you can see, there's the stamp. You can reach down. You can see the edges there. So it is a stamp in there. Nice block. And great information. Thank you so much, Stephen. He wasn't done though. He did send something. He wasn't done, of course. A while ago, he sent me a message on Instagram and he just asked me, Marvel or Pixar? Didn't give me any background about it. Said he wasn't going to give me any background about it. I kind of thought he was talking about, well, which do I prefer watching for movies? Because both great franchises, whether it's Toy Story or whether it's Endgame, who knows? Very different. But I just said Pixar, just because why not? I like kids' movies. I like the stuff that they put out. Monsters Incorporated, Wall-E, Incredibles, Cars movie, you know. So what did he do? Yeah, his little got a little bent. They folded it up to put it in there. But in his post office, they had a table of things, and two of the choices were Marvel or Pixar. So I said Pixar. He went with Pixar to send that to me, and the Marvel went to someone else. And so these were items that were discontinued. They were going to get rid of them. And so they got discontinued because of the price change in stamps. And so 100 years of Pixar. This is Disney's Pixar. So yeah, Pixar hasn't been around for 100 years. So it's going back to 1901, saying that Walt Elias Disney was born in Chicago, Illinois. That's the start of the Walt Disney Empire, and goes through and including Pixar in here. And of course, Disney gets Pixar at some point in time. And we've got some stickers that are also there. And of course, stamps. How can you not love these stamps? They're shaped stamps, which is a plus for me. They're cartoons on stamps, and they're great cartoons. So all of these were included in that little booklet that the Australian Post was just going to destroy because the price of stamps had changed. And so Steve was able to recover them and save them and send them to Canada, where they can be greatly appreciated. Included in that too were a bunch of stickers that he had. He added this in. If you got to see my video about getting to know your neighbors, I did one on the Raven Willow Farmstead, and they've got some cows that look like those stickers. Okay, Stephen wasn't done yet. I've talked about Stamp of the Month. I've talked about this month's Stamp of the Month being about parks. I did save one thing that he sent for myself, and it's this souvenir sheet. I certainly don't have this in my collection, so I've held on to it. But why did I hold on to this one particular? Because the individual stamps he also included, and so they're going to go in the giveaway along with some other things, which is just over here. So we come over here, and I will point the camera down, and you can see some of the other items that will now be in the giveaway for this month. And the only way to win it, as you already know, go to the Stamp of the Month video that came out on August the 1st and put in the keyword that asked you to. And by the end of the month, we will spin the wheel and someone will walk away with all of this, plus all the other things I've shown over the last couple of weeks. And I don't know, maybe there'll be even more stuff before the end of the month. Let's see what's here. So we start with this booklet and this booklet. And this booklet, all mint stamps, a souvenir sheet, individual stamps, all mint, and the park stamps for the one that I kept the souvenir sheet. All of these are all going to be a part of the giveaway. Once again, Barbara in Germany, thank you. Christian in Australia, thank you. Stephen in Montana, thank you. And Steve in Australia, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone for filling my mailbox up with wonderful surprises, for contributing to this channel, for helping me make these different videos that are all stamp related, for helping supply the giveaways that we do every month on this channel, for the growing community that we have. We've crossed over 2,600 subscribers now, and keeps ticking on up, which is great. The more people that are watching and are contributing, the more that I have for content to give away and to show and to showcase. Yeah, I'm keeping a couple things for myself. I'm going to be greedy that way. I know Stephen in Montana and Steve in Australia always put that in their letters. Keep what you want, send out the rest. These are all extra stuff, I guess, for them, which I appreciate. And I love the support that we have as a community, whether it's from the stamp community, the post-crossing community, the car community, the Lego community, or just the community in general. Whether you want to watch what's happening here in Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada, whether you want to see what's happening in the Maritimes, whether you want to get a Canadian perspective on some things, for whatever reason you tune in to watch, whether you watch some videos, all videos, most videos, I appreciate you watching. I can't say thank you enough, but I will continue to say it as often as I remember to do so, because you guys overwhelm me with your support, and the gratitude I have is immense. So thank you to all of you out there that do what you do. And even just watching is enough. You don't have to send stuff in. It's always nice to have a comment though. Let me know you're watching. I love to hear from you. I love to hear where people are from, and gives me something to read. So thanks for all the positive vibes. You guys have a magical week. Like, follow? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Bye. The leaves are green. There's still some raspberries over here. There's grapes. Do you see the grapes? They're coming in great because it is so hot. 41 degrees. I even have little bits of raspberries growing up through the deck here. But there in the back corner is the pile of all the stuff that I would love to burn, but we can't right now. So we won't right now. We'll wait till it's safe to do so.